Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Liquid Culture here with me, Mitchell Chirac. Thank you everybody for stopping in today. Today's episode, we're keeping with the seasonality theme here. Still summer, still hot. Even down here in Fredericksburg, we're expecting 3 days this week of 100 plus degree weather, which is very, very unusual for us. So not super stoked about the weather. So need to be drinking some wines that really kind of match that weather, that really kind of help cool you down, refresh you, not weigh the palate down too much, don't weigh the body down too much. And I think I've picked a nice little lineup to talk about here today. So today's video will be one video that I'm shooting. The plan will be to shoot the videos, put them out, and then I'll be putting them all together in a post for my website with a write-up for each entry into this series. But the idea is 8 wines that I feel you need to be looking into. Eight wines that you need to try. And when I say wines, I'm talking about anything from like a varietal to a style to a region. Things that I think are super underrated and underknown by most people that I really love, that I feel like you guys will really love as well, and you should be looking into. So today is the first in that series, and again, we'll be putting videos out kind of as I shoot them, and then once all the videos have been shot, I will put them all together in a nice long blog post where I give recommendations, other bottles that I didn't shoot in the video, food pairings, fun stuff like that. Today, again, picked a topic in which I feel that it's appropriate for the weather, and that's Txakoli. So Txakoli, a lot of people might not be very familiar with this style of wine, this area. These wines come from the Basque Country of Spain, so kind of north central Spain, in an area called Txakolina. So Txakolina has 3 different sub kind of AVAs, or I guess it's DO in Spain. And they produce whites, rosés, and red wines. So there is a kind of a overall theme, whether it's the white, the rosé, the red, they are all going to be light-bodied, good high acid, slightly frizzy, and low alcohol. So I really can't think of a better lineup of wines to fit everybody's palate, from the white, red, and white, rosé, and red drinkers out there for the summertime, better than the Txakoli wine. So all of them are made with one or both of the 2 grapes that are grown there. That's Handarabi Zuri, which is the white, and Handarabi Beltza, which is the red. The whites obviously made with the Zuri. The rosés are a blend of both the Zuri and the Beltza, and then the reds usually just made with the Beltza. So that's kind of an overall general kind of idea as to what we're getting into here today. Gonna start, of course, with the white wine. So I've got the rosé and the red from the same producer. I was not able to get the Amistoy white, the Zuri, so I got a white option from elsewhere. So this is the Zuri. I'm not super familiar with this producer. Amistoy I've been drinking for a while. This bottle is going to be the first time I'm tasting this one. So Txakoli, you can actually see, so you'll see it written as Txakoli or Txakolina. There are even some different spellings of it as well, but it's all the same thing. So I'd like to point out we've got this nice little tab here. It's going to be on all 3 of these wines, so this is your indication of where it comes from. All of these wines have it, and you can see at the very bottom there how to spell Txakoli and Txakolina, which Jetrarico is the sub-region for these 3 wines here today. Had some technical difficulties there, but we are back here. So today we're going to keep to kind of Basque tradition here, drinking these wines in a very Basque style. So if you go into any bar there, you're drinking these wines out of a nice little bodega glass, a little tumbler, and you get a nice little show from your bartender, your server. The way they pour them, they get a nice high pour on them. I'm not going to go too crazy today. I'm sitting down. You know, I don't want to spill all over the place, but you get a nice high pour just to get that really good little bit of aeration to the wine, get that frizziness coming out of these wines. Again, not sparkling, just frizzanti, just lightly bubbly kind of effervescence that takes place because of the trapped gas in the way that they make these wines. All of them are fermented in closed stainless steel vessels, so your natural off-gassing, what happens is because the vessels are closed, it traps that CO2 into the wine naturally, and you get a nice little fizzy wine as the final product. So on the nose, definitely very light, not as super, expressive. These wines aren't meant to be something that you like dig into and really like pull all kinds of crazy stuff out of. They're not ultra expressive wines. Just this nice crisp apple skin and lemon lime kind of characteristic going on, not overtly serious complex nose. On the palate, really great acid. That is characteristic Txakoli wines. Really nice, crisp acidity, lingering kind of mouth watering situation happening right now. We got a lingerer here with this acidity. Still hanging on, still clinging, mouth still watering, really crisp, slightly effervescent. Little hint of that, kind of sea breeze, sea salt kind of minerality happening with it, but a lot of that lemon lime characteristic. I mean, this is like the 7-Up of white wines here for sure. Man, I really, really want to be at the pool right now while I'm drinking this wine. I mean, ultra light. I mean, ultra crisp, crunchy, frizzy, just really, really fun white wine. Again, not ultra complex, but that not every wine has to be ultra complex to be considered a good wine. There are situations that kind of beg for every style of wine, and I think that hot summers, especially in Texas, really demand something that is not going to make you have to think too much about it when you're sitting by the pool, whenever you're sitting outside, catching a breeze and, maybe chowing down on some seafood or, a nice cheese plate or something like that. You just want something crisp, effervescent, just to kind of cut through things and just kind of really refresh you. I mean, still, my mouth is still watering. Very, very refreshing, that wine there. So again, nice little long pour. So Amestoy, this producer, we've got the rosé here today as well as the red. I've been a big fan of the Amestoy Robentis rosé for a while now. Really, really love this wine, especially in the summer, especially sitting outside. 11% alcohol. This is the 2018 vintage, and both the Amestoys are imported by Selections de Maison, which is a really excellent producer of French and Spanish wines. Anytime I see this logo on the back of a bottle, I am intrigued if I have never had it before. So really, really a great wine. I've had it many times. Nothing new for me here, but certainly probably the most popular of the Txakoli lineup is their rosé. It's still got that. I mean, you can see on the edge of the pour here, just a really nice little effervescence going on. Very kind of candied aromas on the rosé, like those like strawberry watermelon candies. The strawberry ones that you get, they're literally the wrapper is intended to look like a strawberry. The top of it's got that green frilliness, and then you open it up and it's kind of like a soft, chewy strawberry candy. That's kind of what I get on the nose with this guy. and then just really clean, ultra dry, crisp, acidic. Honestly, not as acidic as the white. The white had a higher acid. I'm going to call this like medium plus acid when the white is like high plus acid. This guy's probably medium plus acid, still light, still refreshing, still frizzy, just really clean, easy drinking. It's got a little stemmy quality to it, which I like. It adds a little bit of an earthy character beyond that kind of candied strawberry thing. It's funny. It's candied strawberry on the nose. Go to drink ultra dry. So a little bit of a trickster here, makes you think might be a sweet rosé when you're smelling it, but then when you go to swallow that, take a gulp of it, crisp, dry, clean, frizzy, low alcohol, light bodied. I mean, I think that there's something to be said. I probably should pick a whole category under my 8 wines that you need to try or be aware of project, and that just a broad scope of low alcohol wine. So at 11%, this is certainly considered a low alcohol wine. Even the red, I think, 11.5%. The white was 12. So the white's a little higher, but I mean, 12 is still considered even to be lower alcohol, but especially 11.5%. There's something to be said for, especially in the summertime, being able to drink these wines, glass after glass, just to cool you down, refresh you by the pool, and not get over the top drunk. It's just a really nice experience. They make you feel lively and fresh and bubbly without giving you that serious kind of drunk buzz situation. It's really, really a nice treat. Yeah, I love that stemmy quality that's going on with it there. So again, we'll try and get a nice, of course with the red one's the one that I spill, of course. But even with the red here, let me show you the label. Very, very similar to the rosé there. Same producer. Be on the lookout for Amistoy rosé and red wine. They've got a white as well, but again, wasn't able to find it. So still nice and frizzante. The color here, I don't know if you can tell, but very light in color. Actually, maybe this will do. Nice light colored red wine. Frizzy. Oh, God. One of my favorite aromas for wine is what I get when I smell something like this, something like Lambrusco, which will be another little sneak peek here, another one of my 8 Lambrusco sparkling red wines from Italy. I love this. It's like pure grape soda kind of smell, and it's in a more of a refined package, right? Because it's wine. It doesn't smell like a glass of Welch's grape juice, but that's kind of what it takes me to. It tells me that this wine is not going to be super serious. It's not going to be ultra earthy. It's not going to be crazy funky. It's not going to be anything but something fun and vibrant and lively. This is what a lot of wine smells like whenever it's in like post, just very briefly after fermentation, just early stages of post fermentation. This is what wine smells like, and then it goes through its aging process and its filtering and its bottling, and it loses a little bit of that liveliness that wines like this still retain because of the way that they are super cold fermented, super cold stored, usually not filtered, bottled, and just ready to go out the door and drink fresh and lively. I mean, this is the 2018, which you probably could find the 2019 vintage of this right now and it be drinking spectacular. These wines are all meant to be bought, popped, poured, consumed quickly, which a lot of Americans, we love to buy wine and drink them within the first 24 hours of purchase. These wines are right in that wheelhouse for those of you who don't have the time and the patience to age your wines. Dry, light, fun, frizzy, zero tannin, acids medium. So we definitely went from high, medium plus to medium acid, but it's still well balanced because there's not a ton of tannin here. Low alcohol still, that slight frizzy quality. Really just a, I watched a episode of Psalm TV where Sabato was trying to pick out some good wines to pair with Thanksgiving, and he actually was picked this as one of his bottles as something to drink as kind of either like a beginning of like Thanksgiving Day, where you want something light and fun and refreshing and not super high in alcohol, so that you're not, you're able to make it to that Thanksgiving dinner and to watch the games after. But I mean, it's perfect for that, or for a nice little refreshing palate cleanser. If you've been drinking something else like all day and you're sick of it, you need something that's just going to wake you up and just pop you with something that's a little bit different than probably what you've been drinking the rest of the day. This is definitely the perfect bottle for that. That frizziness, still fun, not super serious. There's no earthy qualities going on with this wine, but it's also not super like fruity, crazy over the top. It's a very restrained red wine. That is what I love about it. I mean, this is what I like to call a chillable chuggable. I mean, you can... By the way, all of these wines I'm drinking at the exact same temperature. I pulled them straight out of the refrigerator, which is probably at about 42 degrees, and opened them and poured them. So all about the same temperature. I'm sure they warmed up to about 50, 55 degrees since then, but perfect temperature, serving temperature for this wine. Tonight I am making dinner for my in-laws, and they, half of them at least, are doing keto right now. And so I was trying to come up with some things that I wanted to make that those of us who were not doing keto could enjoy ourselves, but those of us who were would have a nice meal as well. So putting together a whole spread for taco creation, but a little bit different. So I'm roasting some cauliflower off. I've got some lentil, kind of a veggie lentil situation that I made some veggie burgers with that I left over. So fry that off almost like falafel. And then I'll have some chorizo, as well as all the kind of some pepitas and cilantro and queso fresco, and make some chili oil, some herb oil, and just have a really nice little buffet of things to make some interesting tacos with. And I think that all three of these wines will be the perfect accompaniment for that. You've got your white, rosé, and red wine to meet everybody's palate, and the acidity will be really nice. The not overtly serious nature of these wines will match perfectly with tacos, which again, not an overly serious food, and they shouldn't be an overly serious food as long as you're honoring the ingredients and the season that you're making them in. So I think that's going to be a really nice pair. That would be my suggestion for these three wines. Tacos, veggie tacos, meat tacos, chicken tacos, whatever you're into, these wines would be perfect to go with that, as well as with just your hot summer evening in general. So guys, that's Txakoli. Hope you enjoyed it. The first in a series on 8 wines that I think that you should be trying. Be looking forward to some of the other ones coming up. Going to be a lot of fun. And let's get through this summer heat. It's got the tank top rock in here. I am ready for sweater weather. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am ready to start popping out the cardigans, rock some sick boots, and camp socks, all that fun stuff. So I'm ready. I'm sure you guys all are too. Thanks for being here with me as always, Mitchell Sharrock. We'll see you next time. Later.